Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Mood616 here, and I've got another DVD/Blu-ray update for y'all. Yeah! Alright, let's get this started here. First off, beer time. Got a little bit of fucking Keystone happening right now, and I'm trying to get that little breather thing going. I really don't know what it does, but jars, as Horball would say. First up here, yeah, so this is everything that I've got over the month of March, because this is the end of March, so yeah. But first up here, I got a special one. I won Jason Whitney's contest that he had, I believe, about a month ago, his 100 subs contest. This is the prize here. I didn't get to do an unboxing for it, but I will read the note here for Jason. So everybody that's not subscribed to Jason Whitney, I'll leave the link down below. Make sure you go subscribe to his channel. He's a fucking awesome guy. Hey Moods, I know you don't do too many contests, but thanks for getting involved with mine. Hopefully your prize arrives in good condition and doesn't take forever to arrive. Anyway, congrats buddy, Jason. Yeah, you know what, you're right. I don't enter a lot of contests, but I had to support your channel because, you know, you're a great guy, and what can I say, man? It's fucking, I love your taste in films and shit, so I'm just very fortunate enough to enter on the last day like a fucking douchebag and actually win. But you know the reasons why I entered on the last day, because I had that surprise trip to Vegas and everybody blah blah blah. But yeah, anyways, I got it in there, and yeah. And this is the prize that I chose, and it is Splatter, Architects of Fear. This is the newest release, well, the second newest release by Slasher Video. This is number 6, I believe. The newest one is Cinco de Mayo. This is a very interesting film, I gotta say. It is, it's basically a fake documentary about the making of a film, and it's about these, you know, artists, you know, the effects artists doing their effects on this film that they're supposedly filming, and it's filmed like it's real. You know, you're wondering the whole time, like, fuck man, where is this film? Like, what is the name of this movie that they're working on and stuff? And you know, the effects are pretty cheesy and stuff, but it's pretty fucking gory. The whole film is just nothing but gore scenes. It's awesome. It is shot on video, but it's really well done, I gotta say. It's from, I believe, 1986, and just another fantastic release by Slasher Video. Fucking awesome release. So happy to have this, but, you know, if you're into, like, real gory shit and shot on video and stuff, I highly recommend this. Pick it up while you can, because I know Slasher Video is not limiting their stuff, but, you know, they're kind of an independent company and stuff, so pick up their stuff when you can. This is fantastic. I recommend it. It's great. Thanks a lot, Jason, again, for that. It's fucking awesome. Alright, getting into the DVDs here. First up is a film called Devil Girl. I've recently watched this one. Pretty cool premise, or, you know, pretty cool film, I guess. Kind of psychedelic. It's got kind of surreal atmosphere going on about a girl that's kind of lost, goes on a road trip, gets stuck in this small town, has to basically kind of sell herself as a dancer and stuff to get out of this small town because her car breaks down. She needs a part for it and stuff. And all this crazy shit starts happening. She's being stalked by a crazy clown and shit. It was kind of cool. You know, I think the idea itself was a lot better than the film, you know, that it was actually, you know, it didn't really come together like you think it will. There's a couple scenes in here that were kind of but it has that really kind of surreal atmosphere throughout the film and shit. It was okay, though. You know, it was okay for an independent, low-budget film. I thought the chicks were really fucking hot. Next up is a film called Retarded. I believe this is the sequel to Monstered, yeah, by the director Dan West, I believe. Yeah, directed by Rick Popko, and yeah, these are the guys that did that Monstered movie or whatever. But yeah, Retarded, it's basically about retarded zombies. It's a fucking blast. It's so much fun. Low budget shit right there. I had a good time with it. I'd actually seen it before on Netflix, but I had to pick up the film because it was super cheap. Next up is The Zombie Farm. This was kind of a weird one. You know, I thought the premise was pretty cool, but again, not executed that well. I was kind of in and out while I was watching this film a little bit. I was kind of preoccupied with something else, but you know, it wasn't bad for what it was, but it wasn't the best thing in the world either. You know, whatever. Low budget zombie shit. at least they're trying something new with the different storylines and shit. I can't get into these storylines. I got a lot of DVDs to get to, so. But yeah, I showed this one on the Facebook page, the 22 Shots of Moods and Horror. House 4 finally got this in from the UK. Yeah, I'd never seen it before. I'd never seen House 4, and I was really pleasantly surprised at how fun this movie was. It was really fucking fun. A lot of cheesy moments in it, but really had some pretty decent gore, and it's just a fun film, man, from, I believe, like the early 90s, like 91 or something, 91 or something. Produced by Sean S. Cunningham, which is very interesting, but love the cover art. Fucking fun film, though. Really fun. I got it for like a penny, too, or something like that. It was dirt cheap. But, of course, with the, you know, the ratio, the money ratio right now in shipping and stuff like that, it cost me like $100. No, not really, but it was fucking ridiculous. Our dollar's worth like 40 cents on the pound or something. It's crazy. Next up is the new Dante Tomaselli film, Torture Chamber. I really wish I could get into talking about this. This was fucking fantastic. Absolutely highly recommend this shit, man. It's a really kind of unique film, the way it all develops and stuff. I think I might end up doing a full review on my channel on this film, because I really do want to get into it and talk about it. But I highly recommend this, Torture Chamber. Don't let the title fool you. It's not the most original name in the world, but the title makes sense when you watch the film, because it's got a pretty unique storyline and shit. Awesome. Fucking check it out. Amazing film. Next up is the film called The Legend of the Psychotic Forest Ranger. I did a review on Body Bags for this one. Yeah, I gotta say I was a little disappointed with this film. I thought that it's kind of like a throwback 80s type film, not Grindhouse style or anything, but I did like that. I thought the dialogue was fucking terrible. If you want to know more, go check out my review, but I just wish the kills were, I wish they showed more in the kills. But fantastic art, though. But yeah, a little disappointed by that one. Next up is Dustin Mills' latest film, and that is Kill That Bitch. Talked about this on the podcast. It was my pick of the week. Fantastic movie. Absolutely love this premise. The end of the movie was so brilliantly done. Everything about the end of the film was done so well. Hot chicks, good gore, good effects, just shot really well. Everything about this movie is fantastic. Check it out. Go support Dustin Mills so he can keep making more awesome films. Next up is a double feature Anchor Bay release of The Pit and Hellgate. I picked this up for The Pit. I already have Hellgate on Blu-ray, but The Pit has got to be one of the weirdest fucking movies ever. For the people watching that's seen the movie, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Sorry. I'm fucking sick. This is a fucking weird one. I talked about it on the podcast, so if you can get your hands on a copy of this, check it out. It's fucking awesome, man. I love The Pit. Such a weird movie. Next up is Code Red's release of The Forest. This was Code Red number 3, so it's a really old Code Red release. Yeah, I've been after this film for years. I'd never actually seen it and stuff. Finally got a chance to see it, and it's a weird kind of slasher film. It's got like supernatural elements to it and shit, but it's actually really fucking bad. Like, it's bad in a bad way, though. I wasn't a big fan of it, to be honest. The kills are pretty shitty. There's just certain elements of it that I could see where they were trying something new, even though the slasher genre was, this is 1980s, so it's only been going strong for a couple years, but yeah, I don't know. If you can find it for dirt cheap, check it out. If you're a Code Red collector, definitely pick it up, but oh, shit, man. Fuck. Alright, next up is a film called Zombie Town. Another film I talked about on the podcast. Yeah, this is a really low-budget zombie film that's kind of fucking blew my socks off. I was really not expecting anything from it. I really only picked it up because of the title. I'm notorious for picking up movies just based on titles because I'm really bad for that. But, I give these low-budget zombie films a fair chance. And it turned out to be really well done. I really liked the story, the premise of it, and how the people became zombies and shit. It was really well done. I highly recommend Zombie Town, not Zombie Farm. Zombie Farm wasn't that great. Next up is a Vincent Price film anthology called Twice Told Tales. I believe this is from like 1963. It's got 3 tales on it, based on Nathaniel Hawthorne's stories. Very cool stuff, man. Really well done. Vincent Price, of course, stars in all three stories. Yeah, I recommend this, man. I really like these old anthology films. You know, they're basically PG films, but they're fun. You know, Vincent Price is the man. Awesome shit from Midnight Movies. I always try to pick up these when I find them. The next two, of course, I have a million editions of both these movies, but I didn't have these ones. These are the very first editions by Anchor Bay, I believe, that were released of these films. And that is Dawn of the Dead. It was the original director's cut with the purple cover. Got this for like super fucking cheap. I didn't have this edition, so I think I have like all the Anchor Bay ones now. And I got the original Day of the Dead with the original cover art on there too. I think combined I got these for about $8, which was score, man. $4 a piece. You know, I can't pass it up. You know, just, I don't even know how many editions of each film I own, but, you know, it's two of my favorite movies of all time, so, and I didn't have these, and I've been after them forever. I could never find them for good prices. I seem to fluke out sometimes. Next up is a Kevin Tenney film from 1995 or 96, whatever, Pinocchio's Revenge. Fuck. This movie's so bad it's good, though. You know, it's good in a bad in a good way, or whatever. It's a fun film, to be honest. Like, there's nothing special about it. It's basically Pinocchio that's been possessed by this little boy, and, you know, he starts taking out people and shit, and, you know, you got this little innocent little girl that, you know, is, you know, has the doll in the house and stuff, courtesy of her mom. It's part of this case that she's doing. But, you know, in my opinion, the little girl in this film pulls off her character so well. She's actually a really good little actress. I don't know if she went on to do anything else, but, you know, it's a fun film, man. I don't know. It gets shit on a lot, but I can see why, though. Next up is a film that I was really not looking forward to seeing at all. I kept hearing mixed reviews, but it just didn't interest me. You know, I was kind of tired of this whole kind of baby fucking whatever and shit, and that's Grace. And I finally checked it out, and I was pleasantly surprised at how good this movie was. I was really kind of not expecting what I was seeing, and I thought it was fun. I thought it was really fun. I really liked the end of the film. Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was just interesting. Some of the elements of the film were very intriguing to me. Very cool stuff. I do recommend it. Next up is a film that I'd heard people even comment on my videos saying this movie was fucking terrible. Well, I watched it finally, which is Savage Harvest, shot on video film from, I think, the early 90s or the late 90s. I can't remember exactly. These glasses are so fucking dark I can't see. Man, what a complex storyline this movie has. The story is told in this scene where these people are sitting around this campsite, and it takes about 15 minutes to tell the backstory of this film. And this movie only runs about 70 minutes, so... But it's intriguing. The whole story is, like, actually quite well written out and thought up and shit. And I actually really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was fantastic, man. For the people out there that are watching this going, dude, you suck. Honestly, man, shot on video... Don't let it, you know, defer you from watching films, man. This was really well done. This has some of the best gore and effects I'd ever seen in a shot-on-video film. Like, it was really well done. I don't know, man. I really enjoyed this. I have part 2 sitting around from a couple updates ago. You guys saw me show part 2, and I said I'd found this one, so I still need to watch part 2, but that was really good. I recommend that. Next up is a newer release by Full Moon, and that's Unlucky Charms. I had to pick this up because, you know, just based on the title alone and being a Full Moon film. This movie wasn't really that great, though. It was kind of a stupid premise. It was based on like a kind of like a reality TV, or it was kind of like a reality contest show, and all this shit's happening. It's kind of got a little bit of a complex storyline to it, but it's cheesy. I guess it's not terrible. It's a Full Moon film, really. But yeah, there's certain aspects of the film that are pretty fucking bad, though. But it's okay. I think I'd actually watch it again, to be honest. Next up is The Caretaker. I know there's a couple films with the same title, and this one has Jennifer Tilly, Judd Nelson's in it, Jennifer Reman. This one was okay. It's based on, I think it actually takes place on Halloween, or is it their prom night? The homecoming night, yeah, that's what it is. Anyways, they end up going to this fucking place out in the woods, and then shit starts happening, you know, storyline. It was okay. Jennifer Tilly actually cracked me up in this movie. She's kind of funny, but it wasn't bad. Of course, I ordered Home Sweet Home, and I got this one. I ordered the other one, and they sent me this one. So, I think they sent me the wrong film. I've already shown this before. I already own this, so that's fucking... hate when that happens. yeah, from Trauma here, double feature, Flesh Eaters from Outer Space and Invasion of Flesh and Blood, and that's the sequel. These are shot on video films that are so much fucking fun, man. So much fun. Creature features, really well done, really fun films. I had such a blast with these. If you can find this Trauma release, check it out. These are fucking awesome, man. Really enjoyed that. Next up is another Trauma release. It's not really a horror film. It's kind of like I guess you call it a cyberpunk film. It's really fucking bizarre. It's from Australia. And basically, purge just means to, dispose of people that are, I think are not beautiful or something like that. I can't remember. Fuck, I watched this 3 weeks ago and I can't quite remember. But people that are actually bred to do certain things, and if you're not performing, they get rid of you and shit. It's a really fucking weird movie, man. It's kind of different. I actually kind of enjoyed it. Feels kind of surreal at times. Next up is Full Moon's The Killer Eye. A fucking huge killer eye. I mean, how can you go wrong with this? It's got some awesome nudity in it, really cheesy effects. It's fun. It's not a great movie, but it's fun. And we got another one that I showed in unboxing here, and this is Something Weird video, double featured, Night of the Bloody Apes and Feast of Flesh, and I actually watched both these movies. Great double feature Spanish films. One's actually from Mexico, and then the other one's from an Argentina film. The bottom one's Argentina. Night of the Bloody Apes is video nasty. I guess it made the video nasty list, probably because it shows a couple real life surgeries in the film of like heart surgeries and shit. It's kind of graphic. But really fucking crazy premise, man. Like this doctor's son is having these heart issues, so this doctor goes out and he shoots this ape and replaces his son's heart with this ape heart, and then he turns into an ape and goes on a killing spree, raping and killing women and shit. It's ridiculous. A lot of fun. I had a fucking blast with that movie, man. I always heard it was so bad. I had a great time with it. And Feast of Flesh is about this really fucking weird dude that's going around like sticking chicks with needles and stuff, and it's a weird one, man. Fucking fun films though, really fun. Short and to the point. You know how it goes. And yeah, so I got a huge stack here of films that I actually haven't even seen, so let's rip through them. First up is an Australian film called Needle. More on this one in the future. Next up is a film called Hellion, Devil's Playground, also known as Cubby House in Australia. Another Australian film. And I got the classic Long Weekend, which is another Australian film. So if you've been watching my updates, you notice I picked up a lot of Australian films. So keep that in mind. Next up is another Something Weird video double feature. Eddie Milligan double feature, The Ghastly Ones and Seeds of Sin. Yeah, I'm looking forward to checking these out. I've always wanted to see The Ghastly Ones, so I'm looking forward to this. Next up is a Code Red double feature I picked up for like $2. I already own the Bean on a single release, but I picked it up for Cop Killers just because if I can find a Code Red release for like $2, why not? Grab that shit. Shameless release of Ratman from 1988. So I added this to my series, so hopefully this comes up on the randomizer so I get to do it. But yeah, happy that I got another Shameless release. Fucking awesome stuff. So next up is a film that Jeremy sent me called The Reflecting Skin. I know this is actually the shorter version. I don't know if the full version of this movie's ever been released, but I know there's a cut, like a Canadian cut that's like 20 minutes longer or something like that, but I don't know if it's ever been officially released, but yeah, I'm looking forward to checking this out. I've heard Jeremy's told me really good things about that. Another one I've shown in unboxing, and that is the Hammer House of Horror collection from Snaps Films. Fuck, I've been wanting this forever, and I finally picked it up, so looking forward to breaking into this, man. I'm such a huge fan of these type of shows. Love my Hammer. Another release by Snaps Films, and that's Exorcism, and this is, of course, by Jess Franco, so I haven't watched this yet, but, I pretty much know what I'm getting myself into with a Jess Franco release. Always hit and miss, but I am a fan of Jess Franco, so looking forward to checking that shit out. Got that for really cheap, actually. And then you'll see a fucking, what's the word I'm looking for? Holy shit. Anyways, Frankenstein's Bloody Nightmare here from Unearthed Films. I watched this film. This was fucking bizarre. This was such a weird, surreal film. It's actually hard to explain. But yeah, Frankenstein's Bloody Nightmare. Phew, weird one. Next up is double feature of Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman and House of Frankenstein. I've seen both these films before. I love them both. Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman is just such an amazing film. I love that movie so much. House of Frankenstein is just as good. It's awesome. These are great. Got the Hammer film, Revenge of Frankenstein, from 1958, I want to say. Yeah, 1958. Yeah, you can see a trend here. That's the word I was looking for. Trend. Jesus. Revenge of Frankenstein. This is another great film. I love this one too. And then we got Frankenstein, The True Story. Yeah, I pretty much try to find anything I find with Frankenstein, the title I buy. It's just one of those things. And last up for the Frankenstein films, which is Terror of Frankenstein, and I know absolutely nothing about this movie, so I didn't even know this existed until I came across it. I was like, whatever, I'll check it out. Terror of Frankenstein, so this pile's getting kind of a little sketchy here. Really looking forward to checking this one out. Stay tuned for more on the podcast on this film, but Banshee Chapter, I've heard really good things about this one, so I'm really looking forward to discussing this with JP and Jeremy, because it just sounds like a real good type of film to discuss, so got some really interesting ideas. See how much minutes I got left here. Next up is a film that Jeremy sent me as a bonus one, and it's the Found Footage Festival, Volume 1. I believe, I think this is just like a shit ton of shorts, and I'm assuming that they're all found footage, but I don't think it is, though, because looking on the back here, some of them don't look found footage, but I don't know. But this does look intriguing, though, like a shit ton of shorts that are, yeah, like it range from like 3 to 6, 7 minutes long, so that's pretty cool, man. I'm looking forward to checking that out. Next up is a film called Angry Nazi Zombies. Yeah, and I actually didn't pay $8 for this, but I had to pick this up because it's a Nazi zombie film, so probably shit, but you know what? I'm a sucker for those Nazi zombie films. Next up is another Midnight Movies release, and that is Count Yorga Vampire. Always wanted to see this one. I've never seen this film before, so I really like the cover. It's very cool, but you know, like I said, when I find these midnight movie releases, I try to grab them. And that was another really surprisingly cheap one. Next up is not a it's not a horror film collection, but it's by the director of Drive, Nicholas Winding Refn. I don't know. I can't pronounce his fucking name. But anyways, this is the Pusher trilogy, so all 3 films in here. Very cool set. I've heard really good things about these, and I've wanted to check these out. I believe they're like action kind of, I don't really fucking know exactly. They're kind of like mob kind of type film. I don't know. Just embarrassing myself right now. But yeah, I really like the director. More on him in a little bit, but yeah, looking forward to checking that out. Next up, another video nasty, and that is The Witch Who Came From the Sea. Picked up quite a few, knocked a bunch off my list. I'm still missing a couple of the prosecuted ones, but I'm getting there. This one just sounds really intriguing. I really got to check this out soon. So, storyline sounds pretty complex, pretty interesting stuff. Here's a film I just never owned. Thought I'd pick it up again, and that's Ghost Ship. I remember watching this film and loving the beginning of it. I always remember the movie not being great for myself, but I do want to revisit this. I haven't seen it in years. Next up is a Takashi Miike film, and that is Visitor Q. I've never seen this film. I've always wanted to check it out, and finally got a copy for about $6, so I was like, fucking A, grab that shit up, so looking forward to that. Love Takashi Miike. He's a great director. Next up is Wes Craven's Chiller. I actually watched this. This transfer on this is really shit. It's like a VHS transfer. Kind of a... It's really fucked up. I think this is about the same time that he put out Nightmare on Elm Street. Now, the quality of films is just night and fucking day, literally. Like, this movie's so dark and just gross. But it was a transfer, but, you know, it's not really that great of a movie, man, to be honest. Next up is Full Moon's Grindhouse Collection release, and that's Zombie-a-thon. I believe this is just like a compilation of zombie clips and stuff like that. Once again, I grabbed this because it was really fucking cheap, so whatever. Next up is Joe D'Amato's Tough to Kill. I know Jeremy showed this off in a recent update, and he said he checked it out. Mine's still sealed, but he said the transfer is really shitty. But you know what? It's a Joe D'Amato film. Might as well check it out. Not horror, but, you know, I'll put that over here. Picked up Pulse from 1988, so this went into my 1988 series. Yeah, I was after this one for a long time. I was curious to see that it's rated PG-13 on the back, but I have heard good things about this movie. I don't think this thing has anything to do with the later Pulse Asian film and the remake and stuff. This is like a totally different film, but Pulse, yeah, looking forward to that one. Tales from the Grave, I believe this is another full moon, haha, gotcha kind of deal. I think this is like 3 of their movies cut up again into a fucking anthology film. Those motherfuckers always doing that shit, man, so didn't know. You fucking gotta start looking into shit more, you know what I'm saying? Next up is a Christopher Lee, wow, Vincent Price double feature of the Oblong Box and Scream and Scream Again for Midnight Movies. I actually picked up a bunch of Midnight Movies releases lately. Crazy. But yeah, Vincent Price. Can't go wrong with anything Vincent Price, man. I love the Oblong Box, actually. It's a great film. Just haven't opened up that copy. And I think the last remaining films are my Troma ones, so you Troma dislikers can turn the video off now. No, I got a few here. Dog Years, released by Troma. Don't really know much about this one. I don't know. It says something about a boy and his dog. I don't know. Jeff Town. I'm always interested in these type of films, man, by Troma. Some are so bad they're good, but Jeff Town. This one I believe is a vampire film. It looked kind of cool, and that's Hemo. This is actually one of Troma's newer releases, actually. Next up we got Troma Dance Volume 4. Really, really fucking dirt cheap on oldies, so that's where I get most of these things. Meat Weed Madness. Holy shit, tongue twister right there. This just looks fucking retarded. Rock and Roll Space Patrol. Speaking of retarded, yeah, this actually looks pretty funny though. I gotta say, that monster or that alien. Come on. And last up for the DVDs in this part, I'll move on to part 2 after this, and that is Shark. Is this actually a killer shark film? I thought maybe it was like, I never read the back, but I don't know. It's got Burt Reynolds, and apparently sharks are in this, so how the fuck could you go wrong with that awesome mustache? You know what? He doesn't really, he kind of does. He doesn't really have his Burt there, but yeah, Shark. So what do we got here? We got a couple minutes left, so yeah, that's going to do it for this half of the DVD/Blu-ray update. I will come back with the Blu-rays, talk about those, and a couple box sets that you may or may not have seen already due to unboxings and shelf-by-shelf videos and whatnot and stuff. So if you only watch my updates, they're going to be brand new to you. And if you only watch my updates, shame on you, motherfuckers. No, I'm just joking. I'm just in a really fucking hyper mood right now because it's Friday night and I'm off work, and I'm actually off for 2 weeks now. So I'm just like, I'm so relaxed right now. So, but anyways, guys, if you've seen any of the films that I haven't seen, let me know your opinions on them, or if you've seen any of the ones that I have seen, let me know your opinions. I'm always curious. I'm sorry about getting back to you guys with comments and stuff. I try my best, but I'm so busy and stuff, and I do get back eventually. I just spent a couple hours the other day getting back to people, but anyways, guys, that is going to do it for this part 1. I'll meet you guys back in part 2 in about 5 minutes. That means absolutely nothing when you're clicking a video down. Anyways, you know what I mean. I'm just going on and on. Anyways, guys, I will see you in part 2. Peace.